Hello students and welcome back to the chapter Nouns. Today we'll be having a quick revision of what we did in last class and then we'll be moving further in the chapter. Let's quickly revise what we did in the last lesson. So we got to know about the types of nouns. These were proper, common, collective, compound and material nouns. Apart from these, we got to know that common noun is further divided into two types, which are abstract nouns and concrete nouns. Now, I hope you must have learned about how to form abstract nouns from other words like verbs and adjectives. Apart from these major types, there were some more types which were countable and uncountable nouns. We have discussed about it in detail in the first part, so I'll not be touching upon these topics. Instead, we'll be moving further in our chapter. Today's topic is possessive forms of nouns. How do we form possessive form? What is possessive form? How can we change the noun into possessive form and other things? But before that, first read the example. The book of Ritu is on the table. It will be Ritu's book is on the table. I think the second one looks more appropriate and sounds suitable to us. So, the sentence in which we show some kind of belongingness, we show that there is some kind of possession of one thing over other or one person over other, then we use this possessive forms. Let's have a look at it. The noun Ritu in first sentence changes to Ritus in the second sentence. So the possessive form of a noun is used to show possession or ownership. Possession is belongingness, a sense of ownership, that this thing belongs to you, that expression of ownership, belongingness. It is expressed by adding apostrophe s. You can see this, it can be done by adding this apostrophe symbol and an s. So that is an apostrophe and the letter s to the noun. Generally, that is most of the times we do this, but there are certain rules or certain situations in which we use the possessive form differently, which we'll be discussing further in this class. Now, possessive forms of nouns can be formed in two ways. So, one way we have already discussed, that is by adding apostrophe and s to the form of the noun. Second way is by using of plus noun. Means anything which is not using the form apostrophe s, but instead it is using the form of plus noun. It is generally used with non-living things. So whenever we do not want to use apostrophe s, instead we want to show ownership of some non-living thing, or we want to show possession of some non-living thing, then we use this of plus noun form. Now let me give you a few examples of this of plus noun form. For example, if I want to say the bag of Rita, so this will be the of plus noun form. There will be many examples and we'll be discussing them further. Now, when we use apostrophe s for the possessive form, we have to ask the simple question whose. Now, if you get the answer of this question whose, then you can say that the noun is in possessive form. Let's see for the for examples. Grandmother's spectacles. Whose spectacles? Grandmother's. Belonging to grandmother, or ownership of grandmother is there on those spectacles. Next is grandfather's coat. Whose coat? Grandfather's coat. Mrs. D'Souza's house. So whose house is that? Mrs. D'Souza's. Whenever you get the answer to this question whose, that means your noun is in possessive form. There are few more examples. Vivek's brother, or the brother of Vivek. It means this. If I say Vivek's brother, it means the brother of Vivek. It's not necessarily showing ownership that Vivek's brother belonged to him. We generally use it for of form, which we have discussed earlier. So Vivek's brother means the brother of Vivek. Kishan's village, the village where Kishan lives, or village of Kishan. Minnie's school, the school to which Minnie goes, or school of Minnie. A month's vacation, a vacation that is a month long. Libya's president, the president of Libya. Gita's classmates, classmates of Gita. So this apostrophe s or the of forms both denote our ownership, sense of belongingness and possession. Now there are certain exceptions to the forms of apostrophe s. And how do we use apostrophe s in various cases? This is what we are going to look at. When a noun is singular, so any singular noun, a boy, girl, maybe a name, anything. So if you talk about any singular noun, Rahul, Rita, Raman, anyone. So in that case, what do? We simply add apostrophe and s to the noun. Now see the example, the books of the boy. So how will we write it in the apostrophe form? The boy's books. If the word ends in an S, now suppose there's a word which ends with the alphabet S, and then when we use apostrophe and S, it does not sound correct. So a word already ending with S, for example, birds. Birds, you cannot use two S sounds together. So that's why whenever the word ends with an S, what we do not use another apostrophe S with it. Instead, we only add an apostrophe. We remove the word S after the apostrophe. See the example, the books of Dennis. So that means Dennis, it's ending with S sound, it's ending with the S sound. So we do not use Dennis apostrophe S. Instead, we use only Dennis and apostrophe. This happens only with the words which end with S. See, next example, the justice, for the sake of justice. Now here this word is not ending with S, but the sound which is coming. Justice. S sound is there. The word is ending with the S sound. So therefore, again, we will not be using apostrophe S. We will just say for justice sake. So this is only apostrophe which is not followed by S. Third case, when a noun is in the plural form and then it ends with S, the possessive case is formed by adding only an apostrophe. Same thing, if it was singular which was ending with S, then also we use apostrophe. And if it is plural, plural means the words which are in plural form by adding S. There are many words which are in their plural form by adding S. For example, girl becomes girls, boy becomes boys, book becomes books, door become doors. So all these words which are converted to plural form by using S at the end, in those words we keep the word same and we add apostrophe. Again, we do not add S because these words also end with the sound S or S. See the example, the books of the boys. So the boys' books. We'll not say the boys' we do not use the S sound two times. So therefore, the boys' books. Only apostrophe followed by nothing. No S has to be there. Next one. When the noun is in plural form but does not end in an S. There are many words which are converted in the plural form without using S. For example, child. It does not become childs, it becomes children. Or the word woman. It does not change to women's, it changes to women. So, the words like these, where the plural form is not ending with S, there we use the same format which we did, that is apostrophe S. Now, let's see the example. The bags of the women. Women means plural of woman. That means that more than one woman is present. So the bags of the women, it changes the women's bag. Because this plural was not ending with S, therefore we have used apostrophe S form, which was our normal form. Next one is when a noun comprises of more than one words. That's the compound noun. We have done what were compound nouns in the last class, means when one noun is formed using two or more words. For example, bathroom, for example, mother-in-law. All these are compound nouns. So if these type of nouns come, then how do we change them to possessive form? How it is done? See the example. The uniform of commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief means one person only, but it's a compound noun. So it will be the commander-in-chief's uniform. The uniform belonging to commander-in-chief. Next one. When two nouns are connected, we use apostrophe s with the noun that comes second. Suppose we are using two nouns together and we are using them for single purpose. Then we use apostrophe only with one noun, and that is the one which comes afterwards. We do not use the apostrophe s with the first noun. Let's see the example. The mother of Asim and Asma. So this refers to only one lady who is mother of both Asim and Asma. So what we'll say, Asim and Asma's mother. We'll not say Asim's and Asma's mother. It will be wrong. Grammatically, it will not be correct. We will just say Asim and Asma's mother. Next, when we want to talk or write about the separate processions of two nouns, each noun takes an apostrophe s. That means when we are talking about two different things, two different nouns altogether, then we use apostrophe with both. For example, children of Mrs. Khanna and the children of Mr. Abdul. So, children of Mrs. Khanna are different and children of Mr. Abdul are different. These are two different identities. So, that's why we'll say Mrs. Khanna's and Mr. Abdul's children. Alright, I hope you must have understood how we use the possessive case now. It could be done using apostrophe s or using noun and of this person, of that thing. All these things can be done. With this, we end today's class and it's time for some practice. I'll be giving you a worksheet and you have to do the worksheet given in the group, and please follow the instructions given carefully. Alright, thank you students.